Seems like forever since we've been together. Oh God, I miss you bad, and I read your letters and look at your pictures. Oh God, I miss you so bad. It's been so long, I know, but I'm finally coming home. Till then I'm dreaming. Your heart, your eyes, our love. Darling, I can't wait till I see your face. Oh God, I miss you bad. The only thing I need is you beside me. Oh God, I miss you so bad. It's been so long, I know, but I'm finally coming home. Till then I'm dreaming of your heart, your eyes, our love.
Oh, so hello, welcome back to the channel as always. Thank you so much for tuning in, and this is it. If you didn't see my video on Sunday morning, please do go and check it out, because I'm leaving Germany and that video explains why I'm leaving, and I haven't got time to explain it all again, so please go and check it out. So that makes this week's vlog the final adventure here in Germany, and I'm feeling a little bit sad, you know, to leave this place behind. I definitely don't feel I've even scratched the surface of my landscape photography here, but needs must, and I'm really excited to go home at the same time. And like I say, if you haven't seen that video, please go and check it out. I do explain why, but what a location to finish, and I really feel like I'm ending on a high. And this here is called Walchensee, and it's a lake. The German word for lake is sea, so a little bit of a false friend, a little bit confusing there, but I haven't driven all the way to the coast, and it is stunning. We're talking like 1 hour from Munich, so super close. And there's one or two lakes around here that are this beautiful sort of emerald turquoisey colour, absolutely gorgeous. Now, I came here a few days ago with my girlfriend just for a walk, and obviously a little bit of a photography scout, as you do at the same time. And on that day the sun was out, beautiful blue skies, and I think everything looked a little bit better. Across the lake from where we're stood here, there was there is a huge mountain, and it was snow capped, absolutely glorious. So I kind of had this composition in mind with that in the frame, but unfortunately we've got quite a lot of low cloud, a lot of fog, a sort of mist going on, which is quite nice. You know, it's given a lot of atmosphere to our photography today, or it should do, but I think it did look better then. Also, the direct sunlight was really adding to the vibrancy of this emerald colour in the lake, but it's fine. I'm just trying to work with what I've got today. So I'm set up for the first shot of this week's video, and it's going to be all right. Like I say, I would probably prefer a bit of sunlight in it just to bring up the vibrancy and stuff, but I'm trying to essentially work with the conditions that I've been given today. So I've gone for a long exposure. Just briefly before I get into this, you've probably seen at the start of the video in the introduction that I forgot my tripod. I had to leg it back to my car to get it. But at first, I wasn't taking long exposures. I was just, I had a quick shutter speed. And so I didn't really need my tripod. And it kind of got me thinking, like, I think in a lot of situations when I'm taking photographs, I don't really need my tripod, you know. But then that got me thinking then that I love my tripod. I love using it even when I don't need it. And I'd love to know what your opinions are on that. Like, for me, it's kind of, obviously not literally, but in many ways to me, it's as important as my camera. I love using it. I love extending the legs out. I guess I like the process. You know, I love clipping the camera on the top, and in many ways it's quite similar as to why I use filters, and I don't like to post-process and bracket and stuff most of the time, just because I love physically doing it. You know, I like being hands-on out on the field, and I think the tripod is just kind of part of that, you know, even though it's not practically a necessity. Anyway, bit of a side note there, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So this composition, I've gone for the 6-stop ND, so I'm going for a bit of a long exposure, and I've taken various exposures, but most of them are around about 20 seconds and somewhere in between f14 and f20 to allow me to get that length of shutter speed, length of exposure. ISO 100, and yeah, that's the technical side of things. I'm zoomed in at 45 millimeters, basically just to, I don't want loads of mess on the outside of the frame. So like most of the times when I'm doing sort of anything remotely telephoto, it's just to sort of hone in on my subject, hone in what I want to photograph, and, you know, eradicate any distractions from, you know, the perimeter of the frame, the perimeter of the photograph. So yeah, just over 45 millimeters, so fairly zoomed in. And composition, we've got a boathouse here. Now, this actually reminds me a lot of the one in the Lake District on Ullswater. You've got this beautiful boathouse. I think the one on Ullswater probably looks a bit grander, but this is all right. Beautiful boathouse, and the composition that I'm going for is quite similar to what people seem to photograph on Ullswater. Beautiful boathouse on the right hand side with a few trees behind it, and then the lake almost kind of leads you through the photograph. Then you've got, I think on them photographs as well, it's quite a popular place to photograph. There's a sort of outcrop of trees on the left hand side to balance it out. So yeah, quite similar compositionally if you know of that photograph. I suppose a lot of you don't even know about it, do you? But anyway, boathouse on the right hand third. Lake is taking up almost half of the bottom of my frame, and then yeah, just a nice beautiful diagonal of these trees coming down and leading you into the image. I would have liked the mountain in the background, but this is still going to be nice, and with the long exposure effect as well, it's smoothing out that water. And one thing that I'm really hoping is that I can pull up some of these beautiful emerald colours in post-processing, because they are here. I can see them with my eyes. So I'll pop this photograph for you guys to see now. I'll pop it up on the screen, and then I'm probably going to go back to my car and drive further around the lake, because there's a lot of beautiful sort of forested outcrops and actually some small foresty areas over there that I really want to explore as well. So I hope you like this photograph. Right, so I parked up down by the lake and it's gorgeous down there. Actually some of the fog and atmospheric conditions across the lake are starting to lift a little bit, and some of them peaks and hills and mountains are becoming more visible, which is obviously a big plus, a big positive. However, to give you a bit of perspective, you can probably see the red beast down there. Red beast being my car, not me. I'm just so drawn to the woodland at the minute. It's just where I want to be with my camera, and I think, just thinking about it then, I think the road or the journey of landscape photography is, well, we don't really have a destination, so to speak, and I think this is just where the road's taking me at the minute, straight into the woodland, and it just feels right to be here with my camera, you know, and I'm just trying to make the most of it at the minute. I think when I get back to the UK, I'll be continuing with this sort of woodland photography, so I hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, this is a wonderful little forest, lots of fir trees and pine trees, and as you can probably see, a few splashes of autumn left over, and obviously big signs of autumn on the floor with all the fallen leaves. So I'm just going to explore around a little bit. The light isn't ideal, it's really flat, so like some of my previous videos recently, I'm probably going to be keeping an eye out for anything that's got some sort of colour contrast, to see if I can find any of these autumnal yellows and lime greens, quite like this tree here, but also some that hasn't got a distracting background as well. So I'm asking for quite a lot, but yeah, for now I'm just going to enjoy exploring around here, and we'll see if we can find anything. So I'm not really feeling it, to be honest with you, and it's prompted me to want to have this quick chat with you. Nothing's wrong, it's just about photography, nothing wrong with my life. I'm just feeling really uninspired. The colours are really flat in the woodland. You know, there's a few splashes of autumn, but they're really pale and dull, and you know, nothing's inspired me or excited me enough to want to get my camera out. The light's really flat. I think it might have actually got a bit flatter. And yeah, I'm just not really feeling it, but it got me thinking that this happens all the time, you know, in landscape photography. This, and the way I'm feeling now, is complete and utter reality. This is more of a reality than going out and getting good photographs. So it's something that I've always wanted to share on this channel, you know, and be honest and have nothing but integrity. I think what I'm trying to do here, of course, is inspire you guys to go out with your cameras and enjoy the landscapes, but I think in many ways the way that I'm feeling right now, hopefully to you guys, is also quite inspiring, because I don't want to paint this picture that I'm coming out all the time and getting good photographs and I'm having nothing but success, because that's not the case. I have more failure than I do success, and I certainly don't want to be taking photographs and stuff for the sake of this video, as much as I'd like to and as much as I maybe should do that, I don't know. But yeah, I really hope you guys understand that this is the reality, and it happens to the best of us, it happens to us all. And in many ways, I'm trying to say, let that inspire you. You know, don't think that photographers are going out all the time and getting good photographs. It's absolutely not the case. It's the other way around. And you know, if you have been watching loads of vlogs on YouTube and videos and thinking, Jesus, like these people are going out all the time and they're getting quality photographs, and there's me going out 5 times a week and I can't even get one. It's just, honestly, it's not the case. Like, it's a struggle more often than not, and I think what I'm trying to say is let that inspire you. The crazy world of landscape photography. There's the red beast, and despite everything that I've just said, well, you've just heard me say, it was about half an hour ago, it's all still very relevant. But anyway, I was driving back and there's another lake, I think it's called Walchensee, and it's like sort of next to the lake that you just saw me at previously. For some reason here, there's absolutely zero wind, and look at that. It is like an absolute mirror. Beautiful. I actually don't think I've ever been lakeside with when we've had such a still lake. Anyway, crazy. I was on the way back to Munich and I just have to pull over here because there is a composition that I've got my eye on, and oh, this is amazing. And this is it. This is the journey of landscape photography. It's ups and downs. Everything that I just said, sat there in the forest, feeling a bit uninspired, a bit down, is still completely relevant. But then it just gets you like this. It just hits you smack bang in the face and you get something like this. Absolutely amazing. So I have to get a photograph here. I leapt straight out the car. So I'm going to get the old camera set up on the tripod, of course. Conditions aren't ideal, but I think it's going to be a really, really nice, what's going to be my final photograph here in Germany. Amazing. So I've got you all the way back there, just so you can see the scene that we're photographing, so you don't mind being so far away from me, you know. Yeah, this is lovely, and as you can see there, it doesn't really get much simpler, does it? My initial idea was to maybe get the telephoto out and zoom in a little bit more and shoot portrait and just try and capture, see the bigger peak, the rounded peak, capture that and its reflection, and then that bit of forested area in the middle. But I had a quick try on the 18-55. I'm still zoomed in at 45mm, so that's almost in the realms of telephoto, and I just prefer it. It's almost like the forest on the left, and then it fades away into the right hand side. It's absolutely gorgeous. And what I've done here is pretty much something that I wouldn't usually. I tend to I quite like to follow the rule of thirds generally. Whereas here, I've got the horizon line pretty much bang in the centre of the frame, which isn't something that I'd usually do. I just think when you've got reflections like this, almost perfect reflections, it works really, really well, because then obviously you've got a really cool sort of symmetry effect, which is exactly what we've got here. But yeah, trees on the left-hand side of the frame with that beautiful rounded peak, and then it just, like I say, it fades off into the right hand side. We've got that smaller peak, and then obviously the peaks come down even smaller. And then on the right hand side there, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a bit more foggy, so it helps into the fade off because it becomes softer and softer as well. But yeah, no light, well, we've got some sort of soft light coming in from the right hand side, but no direct light. But absolutely amazing, and it's all about reflections and symmetry here, guys. Beautiful. And we're lucky as well because that little outcrop of woodland has got quite a few colours as well. When I was coming down, I drove down here. I don't know if you can see that sort of pylon there in the distance. I drove through that kind of valley, and as soon as I got to this side, it seemed like there was more colours, and it makes sense because if the lake's much stiller here, I guess it's a lot more sheltered over this side. So that's probably why it's kept some of its autumn colours. F11. ISO 100 and a 1 second exposure. So, I'm going to grab that now, and there it is. The final shot from Deutschland. I hope you like it. Just really briefly, guys, before I show you this photograph, because I don't want to forget, I'm going to be taking my landscape photography calendars, my 2020 calendar, I'm going to be taking them off sale before the end of this weekend, because I think I've only got about 6 left. I didn't bother buying any more batches. So if you'd like to get one before the end of the weekend, you have to get one now because they're going to go. So thanks for the support with that. I just wanted to let you know in case. I don't want anyone to be disappointed. I hope you like this image. So I am really going to leave you this time. I'm not going to do another false end of the video and then take another photograph. I'll just show you this. Look, tiny little bit of wind has picked up there, and there's all these ripples across the lake, and it's completely destroyed any of the reflections. Honestly, within the space of like 10 seconds. Crazy. It's crazy how much, how important timing is with landscape photography as well. Anyway, that is it. This is definitely the end. This is the end of Germany. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new. I'd love to have you on board all these wonderful adventures, and I shall see you next week on the next adventure, which will be somewhere in the wonderful UK. Out.